It's morphin' time! Okay, so we just got back from seeing the new Power Rangers movie, and I will admit, it's a mixed bag. There's good things in it, there's bad things in it. Like on the way to the theater, I said it's like Transformers 1, you know, it's bad, but still kind of fun, you know, anything.
It was actually a lot better than what I ever expected it to be. I don't know, you know, the thing is you know, with the Power Rangers, you know, it's always going to be a mixed bag because everyone always remembers, you know, the first season of Power Rangers in the 1990s, you know, with the original cast and how fun that was. And it was, and despite its overall campiness, you know, it was a good time, but as the series kept going season after season after season, it just started to become tiresome. It just didn't have its impact, you know, as what it did when it first started. So there were a lot of things that they could have done to this movie to make it really horrible, but thankfully with what they had to work with, they actually ended up making it, you know, into a mostly competent product for the most part.
Yeah, like my biggest problem, I guess, would be the characters. Like they're very cliche, but at the same time, I know what they were trying to do. You know, in the original, like there were, you know, goody two-shoe kind of kids. Now these, like the kids in this one, they're not like that. Well, one of them is kind of goody, but it's where like the Red Ranger, you know, he was a star football player, star quarterback. He was straight A, and all of a sudden, like for some weird reason, he's now a troublemaker. I don't know why. Like his dad seems fine. He's in a stable family life. You know, he seems in a good position. All the kids got problems.
They're being progressive for the sake of being progressive. Like there's a
kid there, like who's, like it's obvious, like he's autistic. Okay, fine. Like, and he's cute. You know, which I found, you know, fine. I guess, you know, relatable because I'm autistic as well. But I think they overplayed some of it, like the clumsiness. They made it a little too clumsy and whatnot. But and you know, I mean, like, and one of them they tried to make one too. Well, I'm not going to give anything away here, like a lesbian, but it's not obvious. So, you know, I mean, they are being more inclusive, which to me is what the Power Rangers are. You know, they got lots of kids from different backgrounds. One major complaint, though, aside from the characters, like, you know, their cliche problems, is it took a really long time to get to the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
There's training, and one thing I really liked though is, you know, when they get the power coins, they're not just told you're Power Rangers and more than they're Power Rangers. It's something that has to be earned. They need to learn how to do it. But to get to that point, I think was really dragged out. They tried to do this whole high school drama. At one point, it began to play out a lot like The Breakfast Club, and I won't say how, but I'm sure a lot of you understand what I'm talking about. If you go and see this, you'll find the comparisons.
Yeah, I think ultimately, you know, they spent a lot of time, you know, dealing with character development. Was it needed or was it not needed? It's kind of hard to tell because you didn't want to make the characters too shallow, but there was really way too much time spent on actually trying to develop these characters and their actual human traits and their human flaws and things along those lines. But, you know, when people look at Power Rangers, ultimately, you know, they want a slight bit of campiness. You know, they want a lot more action, and they want the the Zord fights and and things along those lines. I can understand where they were headed, but they couldn't kind of find a healthy balance, you know, between each, because it's literally the final third of the movie that they actually finally develop the ability to morph, and then it turns into a huge battlefield. But I think if they could have done more half and half, I think it would have transitioned the movie a lot better.
I know. Again, the characters. I mean, I know what they were trying to do. It's just it was really hit or miss. You can tell that overall, as a movie, they were trying so hard. There's very little, camp in it, which I kind of miss. they were trying to make it either too realistic. It's hard to tell. Like, you knew they were trying to make a good product, but it just fell through in a lot of the areas. When they finally do become the Power Rangers, that's when I got excited. You know, once they powered up, they got into their Zords, they were running to the city, go, go, Power Rangers was playing. I was like, yes, finally. It's like, it was at that point, I finally felt the movie was starting. But this was like, what, only lasted maybe a half hour, like the last 20 minutes or so, so it wasn't that long. It was action-packed. I thought it was fun, you know, like when they were fighting the putties, you know, first as individuals. It's when it got to that point, yeah, like the TV show, okay, they morph, they fight the putties, then you get to the Zords, they turn the Megazord, fight the giant monster, so that formula is there. But it could have happened a lot sooner. I like the idea of, you know, the kids meet, they find a spaceship, they need to earn their right to become Power Rangers and fight, but way too much. Teen drama, teen problems, way, way, way too much of it. We need to relate to the characters, I get it. But they could have done a lot better. But overall, I don't think it wasn't insulting. Like,
No,
okay. I mean, it was a fun time for the most part.
It could have been a lot worse. It could have been.
yeah.
It could have been a lot more lazily done. I think for, you know, that. It's like she said. You know, we know what they wanted to try to do, and in some ways it did work, and in other ways it didn't work. But I can appreciate the effort that they actually put into it, because they could have easily turned this into a completely lazy, half-assed project. So, but thankfully for the most part, it didn't turn out that way. And I would say with what they had to work with, you know, I think they've done it, decent enough. And that's why I say I don't think the movie was as horrible as what it definitely could have been, because there were technically more redeemable features about the movie than actually things that you could really hold against it. You know, ultimately it's not a great film, but it's not a bad film. It's pretty much like down the middle. You can get your enjoyment out of it, but you're definitely going to see one of the problems with it, because for me, like, one major gripe I kind of had. Two major gripes is they could have shown a lot more scenes as the Power Rangers as individuals. You know, I know the whole purpose is of them in their Zords and it turns into a Megazord, but they only really had one fight scene as they were like actual Power Rangers, and there was really not much really put into it. I thought they could have had a few more fight scenes, you know, as they were individual Power Rangers.
Oh, like they could have more.
Yeah, exactly. And ultimately, my biggest gripe with the movie is one of the purposes of seeing a Megazord, you want to see how it actually transforms. You know, you want to see how all the 5 Zords combine together to actually construct a Megazord.
Yeah.
But basically, in this movie, all that happens is the large monster Goldar pushes them all into a pit, and then all of a sudden they come out of the pit already transformed.
Yeah, that's a cop-out. I mean, that's one of the big scenes of the original show. It was like, let's all combine, right, in the big scene. But again, they were trying to avoid camp, so I guess they were just trying to make a realistic solution to a fictional problem. You know, it's they wanted to make a good product. I mean, you can tell the effort. They really tried. Although I will say is this movie rated PG or PG-13?
I have no idea.
It's pretty intense. Like, I noticed there was a lot of parents brought in like little kids, like maybe 5 or 6 years old, and I don't know. I think there's some really intense scenes for kids that age. Like, I'm not gonna say what it is, but okay. Well, one thing, for example, like there's a scene where Rita Repulsa blows up a building with people inside it. Yeah. I was like, damn, she went all the way.
No, it's like people will actually die in this movie.
Oh my God.
And the villain, you know, the villain's not very memorable. You know, Rita Repulsa is kind of like your carbon copy cut out of, you know, any other like villain in Power Rangers. You know, I wouldn't necessarily, you know, she was memorable. I thought the New Age design was fine.
Like, what? Time to conquer. There's none of that there. Like, the design is cool. You know, I love their staff though. You can still see, you know, the crescent moon with the jewels in it. It's still pretty, you know, it's a neat design.
Yeah, but she actually kills people in this movie.
Yeah,
So
she's brutal. Holy shit! So I'm like, no, if you have little kids, I wouldn't take them to see this. But you know, like older kids and teens, man, have at it. I think I'll have a good time. But other than that, yeah, I mean, as I said, like Transformers 1, you know, it's bad, but you still have fun watching it, and
it's ultimately
I had low expectations, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be. It's okay.
just literally a perfect example of a movie that's slightly above average, and there's definitely much worse you could actually watch. And for bringing the Power Rangers, especially you know, the original cast of the Power Rangers, to bring that storyline to a brand new generation, I think they did, for the most part, a competent job of it. And you know, before we end, if you decide to watch this movie, just watch out for the cameo of the original Green Ranger and the original Pink Ranger close to the end of the movie. But if you're not careful, you might miss it. So.
But they're both there. It's good. So the whole thing of, you know, togetherness and friendship is all there. So I say check it out. I mean, if you're a fan of the original, I think it's worthwhile. Definitely take a look.